It was the fall of 2020, peak pandemic. The streets were emptier than usual, businesses were closing, and fear lived in every breath. I'd lost my job at a retail store and was scrambling for cash. That's when I started driving for Uber. Easy money, flexible hours. But no one warns you about the people you meet or the things you feel. Late night shifts were my go-to. The pay was decent and the roads were quiet. Too quiet. Most rides were drunk college kids, awkward small talk, sometimes even silence. But none of them stuck with me like what happened that Friday night in October. It was a little past midnight when I dropped someone off at a motel on the edge of town. My app pinged right away. New ride. 6 minutes away, pick up a bowling alley in an old strip mall. The name on the ride was Derek. Looked normal. I accepted. When I got there, the lot was almost pitch black, except for a few flickering lights. The bowling alley was definitely closed, but there he was, a man, standing alone under one of the lights. Tall, still, wearing a gray hoodie and jeans, his hands in his pockets, head tilted down, staring at the ground like he was listening for something. I pulled up slowly, rolled the window down. "You Derek?" He nodded once. No smile, no wave, just got in the back seat. His voice was quiet, almost too quiet. "Yeah, that's right," he said when I confirmed the destination. Some random address about 20 minutes out in a part of town I didn't know. He didn't speak again. 5 minutes in, I glanced at the mirror and caught him staring. Not out the window, not at his phone, just at me, at the back of my head. "You doing okay tonight?" I asked. He waited a beat. "Just needed to get out of there." "Out of where?" I asked, trying to be casual. He didn't even look at me. It doesn't matter. The next 15 minutes were dead silence. No music, no small talk, just the sound of tires humming and my heart thudding harder with each mile. Then the houses got sparse. Streetlights vanished. Trees towered over cracked asphalt. That's when he leaned forward suddenly and said, "Actually, pull into that driveway." I looked where he pointed. An old house, half swallowed by darkness and weeds. No lights, no cars, no sign of life. The kind of place you expect to see in crime documentaries. "Your place?" I asked. "Just pull in," he said flatly. I paused, then slowly turned in, my fingers hovering near the gear shift, ready for reverse. He didn't move. "You okay?" I asked. He stared at the front door. "Wait here." Then he stepped out and walked. Not to the door, but around the house, disappearing behind it. I sat in the car, frozen. 1 minute. 2. My gut clenched tighter with each second. Something wasn't right. I ended the trip on the app, marked it complete. I just wanted to get out of there. But just as I was about to back out, he came back. He was walking fast, no bags, no reason, and he had a strange look on his face, like he was excited or angry. I unlocked the doors, a dumb instinct maybe, and he slid back in. "Take me to the other place," he said. I blinked. "What other place?" He didn't answer. "I need you to put it in the app," I told him, heart thumping in my throat. Nothing. "I can't go anywhere unless it's in the app." Still silent. Then he muttered, "Just take me back to where you picked me up." I didn't argue. I just drove. But the pressure in the car was unbearable. I could feel him watching me again. Not blinking, not moving, just staring. "Rough night?" I tried, hoping for some sort of normalcy. "You could say that," he replied. "Everything all right?" I asked. "Not yet." I didn't ask again. When we got back to the bowling alley, I pulled up under the same flickering light. Before I could say anything, he leaned forward. "You ever wonder how you gonna die?" he whispered. I froze. "No, not really." He leaned back slowly. I think about it all the time. He opened the door, but didn't step out. Just stood half in, half out of the car. Then he looked back at me with hollow eyes and said, "You picked the wrong guy up tonight." Then he was gone, vanished into the shadows behind the bowling alley. I sat there for a long time, too scared to drive. When I finally got home, I pulled up the trip record, and it was gone. No name, no photo, no ride history, like the app never recorded it. I contacted Uber support. They told me the trip data was unavailable. Sometimes that happens if the app crashes or the ride gets canceled midway, they said. But I know what happened. I know he was real. And I know what he said. "You picked the wrong guy up tonight." And I still wonder if he ever found the right car.
I used to drive for Uber during the summers in a busy tourist town. Nights were my shift. Less traffic, better tips, fewer families with screaming kids. Most nights were the same. Drunk college students, tired tourists, the occasional awkward silence. But one night, something changed. Something I can't forget. It was a Saturday, just after 1:30 a.m. I had just dropped off a loud group near the beachside bars when I got a ping from a user named Chris. The pickup spot was strange, behind an old, mostly abandoned strip mall. Still, GPS pins aren't always perfect, so I went anyway. He was already there, a guy in a gray hoodie, head tilted down at his phone. I pulled up and said, "Chris?" He nodded without a word, climbed into the back. Sober, quiet, not uncommon, but there was something off. I tried small talk. Nothing. Just the hum of the road and silence. About 5 minutes into the ride, I noticed his phone was in his lap, but the flashlight was on, aimed up toward my seat, like he was trying to study me. I asked, "Everything all right back there?" He mumbled, "Yeah," and turned it off. 20 minutes passed like that. No music, no talk, just a building pressure in the car. We finally arrived at a dark suburban house. No lights, no sign of life. I asked, "Is this the right place?" No answer. I turned to look at him. "Hey, is this it?" He stared past me, through the window, then slowly nodded. I parked and said, "Have a good night." Still nothing. He didn't move. I asked, "You good?" He finally opened the door, stepped out, and just stood there, door wide open, facing the house. Then, after a full minute of silence, he turned and said something I'll never forget. "I need to go back." "Back where?" "Where you picked me up." I told him to request another ride, but he just stared at me. "Please, I need to go back." "You need to use the app." His voice dropped to a whisper. "I can't. They're not gone yet." "Who's not gone?" He didn't answer, just stood there, breathing harder. Then, without another word, he backed away, closed the door, and walked toward the dark house. I waited until he was on the porch, then drove off. I stopped at a gas station a few blocks away to use the restroom. I locked the car. I know I did. 4 minutes later, I got back in. Chris was sitting in the back seat. Same hoodie, same dead stare. I froze. "How did you get back in?" He leaned forward, breath cold on my neck. "Take me back." "I'm calling the cops," I said, grabbing my phone. He whispered, "They're still in the house." There was no logic in what I did next. I didn't call anyone. I just started driving, back toward the pickup spot. Maybe fear, maybe pity, maybe something deeper, like I was caught in someone else's nightmare. As we neared the strip mall, he began rocking slowly in the seat. "They won't leave, no matter what I do." We arrived. He got out, walked to the alley behind the strip mall, and disappeared into the dark. I locked the car, Drove 3 blocks, parked under a streetlight. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. That night, I didn't sleep. I reported it to Uber. Should have gone to the cops, but what would I even say? There was no crime. Just a man, haunted. Or maybe worse, he wasn't the haunted one. Maybe he was the haunting.